Hi friends, Mindy here. I have a process video for you today, working through day 7 of Fear the Lord from Bythewell4God. This chapter here I'm working on is in Psalm 19, and what I'm doing is I'm getting ready to add some different colors of Distress Oxide here to create a background, kind of for the background behind the stencil. So I'm starting out with weathered wood, which kind of is a grayish blue color, and this is, I'm going to be using the stencil that you can get that coordinates with the kit, but first I want to lay down some of the color that will basically be the mountain color. So this isn't going to look, it's going to look a little weird here at first. It's a little splotchy, but that's okay because I'm going to be blending in some other colors. So again, I'm starting here with weathered wood. I'm just using a makeup blender brush here to add some of the color. I'm trying to kind of go with those colors from the kit, the devotional cover. So then I'm adding in some bundled sage down here at the bottom, and I have a sheet of paper off to the side, so I'm tapping on the ink pad and then kind of tapping some of it off so that I don't get any like really heavy splotches. Sometimes it's hard to get this ink to blend on this paper, at least for me personally. But anyway, I also decided to add in some tumbled glass for kind of in the sky, and I'll bring that down into the kind of mountain area as well. Just trying to blend it out as much as I can. I'm okay with it being a little bit splotchy looking almost. It's going to add texture to the overall look when it's finally finished. So just adding some tumbled glass up here, like the top third, and then kind of the middle section is where that weathered wood is, and then the bottom section is going to be where the bundled sage will be. So just kind of working in this area. This is like where I'm planning on putting my mountain range here with the stencil. So I'm just kind of pulling in the stencil just to make sure that I have the colors kind of going where I want them to for the most part. And then I decided at this point I needed to go all the way down with the bundled sage, so that's gonna kind of represent like a tree line or whatever, kind of down here to all the way to the bottom. And I'm not covering the words. You totally could, you'd still be able to read it and everything, but just for this page I decided to just kind of stop at the words instead of covering the whole page all the way up to the spine. So anyway, just going back and forth here, blending more color in where it needs it, between those three colors. And then I decide I would like to have a little bit of purple in the areas where my mountains will be. So again, I'm kind of pulling the stencil down so I can kind of see where those places are going to be, and I'm just blending. This is I believe it's wilted violet or milled lavender, and just kind of blending it in here in just a little bit places. It's just going to give some dimension to the mountains once I'm finished when I've used the stencil. So just kind of very randomly adding some purple in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this foil pen from We Are Memory Keepers, and I have my stencil taped down with some washi tape, and I'm going to just kind of, I created like a little hinge so that will keep my stencil in place, and I just slid the foil up underneath there, and then I just added a little piece of paper behind there just to get a good surface. And my foil pen here is already heated up, so I'm just going through very carefully through this entire stencil, just being really careful, trying to get all of the places. This is kind of a slow process. I'm using the smallest nib that I have. The foil quills have actually a few different kind of nibs that you can use, and you can see where it's starting to come together. This is just basically the lines. I haven't done the whole section. I'm just adding some more foil in here, and I won't make you watch me do this because this actually took a little bit of time to get it all done, but here is the finished project here. So I've taken off the stencil, and you can see all that foiling, the gold foiling. It didn't bleed through, but there's definitely like an impression on the back from me pressing with the foiling pin, but I'm not worried about that. So I just used the gold foil to fill in those stencils places. And now I'm using the alpha stickers to create my title up here at the top that says clean and enduring forever. And I took a gold pen and just underlined some of the scriptures that were referenced from the devotional, which is a good section of like Psalm 19, verse 1 through about 9. It ended up being, I think, or 10 actually. So down here at the bottom of the page, I'm adding some washi tape that I just had in my stash that I just feel like really coordinates well with this kit. And I'm going to use this die cut that is this gold tree. And then I have a little journaling card here that I am going to do a little bit of word study on. I just pulled up the Blue Letter Bible app and I went through the word clean and just wrote down the biblical definitions. And then I wrote down a quote from one of the commentaries as well. And I thought I was going to use this flashcard here on this page, but I decided to save that for my tag ring. And then I feel like that top section is really plain. I didn't space out my title very well there, so I need to add something up in that top right-hand corner to kind of help. So I'm just really fiddling with this, trying to figure out where the best placement for all of these pieces is going to be. And I'm just kind of trying different things. I tried the labels, I tried this other die cut piece, and I couldn't decide, so I'm just going to go ahead and work on this little tab that I just punched from some of the pattern paper, and I'm using the Alpha Tiles stickers to just write day 7, and then I'm going to stick that up there at the top. And I'm using a couple of the clear stickers just to add some interest behind the little tab. So what I'm doing here is, this is the digital papers that I have printed on clear sticker paper, and I'm just using part of this. I just cut out one of the little kind of abstract sticker sections, and I'm just going to use that as the background. I had put some washi tape up there, and it was just too busy with the background of the tab because it's a pretty busy pattern paper. There was just too much going on, so I just went ahead and went with these clear stickers. And I'm going to use a bone folder here just to burnish that down really well. And then I will add my tab back here on top of that. And then just grounds that a little bit and adds a little bit of interest up in that top right-hand corner where it was kind of plain. So now down here at the bottom, I have this tree and this little journaling spot here. And I'm just trying to decide, I want to put something behind it. So I've taken another one of the clear stickers, kind of the abstract one that had some of the gold and stuff in it, and I'm just going to put that on the right side, and I burnished it down, and then I'm going to glue down the tree and this library card that I'm using for the journaling. And that will pretty much be everything that I do on this page, other than I'm just going to write in the date over to the left of that tree. And I lost some footage here. I started on working on my tag for my tag ring, and I wanted to include one of the other verses that was in the devotional, which was in Romans. So I did that on the back of one of those journaling spots. And then here I'm writing a quote from the devotional that talks about the fear of the Lord being pure and clean. And then I'm just going to tuck this label kind of behind that little mountain scene. And so what I have here is, so this is, I have a piece of vellum. I don't know if you can kind of see, it's printed vellum. And I used one of the clear sticker papers that I had printed out, and I just cut out that scene and put it on some white paper, and then I glued that down at the bottom of this, the bottom of the vellum. And I created basically a pocket with this vellum and the pattern paper. And then in there is where I tucked the journaling spot. And now behind this mountain scene is where I'm going to add this label. I hope that makes sense. I apologize that I lost some of that footage there, but then I'm just adding the number 7 so that I know what day it is. And I feel like this needs a little pull tab so you know that this part slides out. And so I'm just taking some washi tape Oh, excuse me, here I'm using one of the other parts of that clear sticker just to add some more interest up there at the top. And again, just burnishing that and then trimming off where that sticker was just over the edge just a little bit. So anyway, I wanted to create a little pull tab for this journaling spot. So basically all I did is I took that same washi tape and I folded it on itself, and I just made a little tab, and then I'm going to use my tiny attacher. I did not leave myself much space to do this, so I had to do it kind of right at the edge, but it's enough to let you know that, you know, this little piece pulls out from this tag. So that is my finished page. It was pretty simple. It took a little bit of time with the foil quill, but it was a lot of fun to do. So anyway, if you liked this video, I would appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And until next time, bye-bye.